The distorted way of doing the second, eighth house merging is the two individual candles at a wedding ceremony. They light them and they light the third candle and they come back and they blow out the individual candles. The natural way of doing this second house, eighth thing is the two individual people light the candles, their own candles. They light a third candle together and they bring their own individual candles back and they remain lit. Okay, so it shows that we osmosis with that which we perceive we lack in order to become something more than we were, and then we bring it back to a deeper level of self-reliance. We never give up ourself when we go to merge with another. When we try to give up ourself, sooner or later we will have those famous eighth house confrontations. Right? So is this clear with this? So let's do some examples with this one before we move on. All right? So let's play with this Leo on the second house cusp. If we have someone who has Leo on the second house, would they have a deep, essential need to be acknowledged as special? Would they have a deep, essential need to be creative, to contribute something special to the world, to contribute something special and unique in relationships? Would they have a need to be acknowledged as special with any relationship? The polarity to that second house, Leo, is an eighth house, Aquarius. So, what kind of examples would that create through the distortions? Could they draw in a partner who was distant, unavailable, the Aquarian, objectivity thing? What do you mean you're special? What about me? I'm special too. That same archetype could be expressed in a different way by that partner who has Aquarius on the eighth house cusp, being able to say, yes, you are special, and everybody else is special too. Same words. Just simple example. Let's take this second house cusp and let's put Virgo on the second house cusp. Could we have somebody who had deep essential needs for self-improvement? Deep essential needs to take care of themselves and nurture themselves, Virgo in its healthy sense. Okay? What if this person was a soul who wasn't self-reliant? Could that Virgo on the second house cusp make them critical about having their needs met? That would put Pisces over there on the eighth house cusp. Could they then have a Pisces, could they want to attract in partners who might be weaker than them, Pisces, so that they could do the Virgo controlling thing in order to feel secure? In a healthier sense, if they're recognizing that we are imperfect beings, Virgo, here, and so one of their essential needs is to perfect themselves or evolve themselves, could they also then, Pisces on the 8th, draw in a partner who could unconditionally love them in their imperfections? You see how you just start to play with the archetypes in a zillion different ways? Michelle, question?
I'm just wondering if you could give an example second, since the opposite, that one always confuses me.
Example, okay, so when we flip the signs on the houses that they naturally rule, if we have Scorpio on the second house cusp, could this be a soul who had a deep essential need to merge? A deep essential need to be in a committed emotional relationship. Okay? Let's put Taurus on that 8th house cusp. What if this person who has Scorpio on the 2nd in their need to commit could also be a little controlling? Could they draw in on that 8th house polarity? Perhaps a partner who was trying to create self-reliance and didn't want to be controlled. They could also draw in a partner who was possessive Taurus. And there would be the power struggles back and forth between who was going to be more powerful, who was going to have their needs met first. That's also the Leo, you could see that with Leo Aquarius as well. There's many different, each of the 12 archetypes could have many different possibilities and reflections, depending upon evolutionary state, depending on environmental conditioning. Jess?
So then what would be the healthier expression of that same example?
The same example, if we have Scorpio on the 2nd house cusp and we had somebody who wanted deep merging, yet they were working to affect their own self-reliance, then with Taurus on the 8th house cusp, they would attract in a partner who was self-reliant and a partner who would be able to deeply give to them on emotional levels, 8th house. The unions they'd have deep soulmate type bonding. And if this same example, Scorpio 2nd, Taurus on the 8th, if they were not affecting self-reliance, then they would be the typical karma mate. How do I manipulate to get what I need? 2nd house cusp, if they're not self-reliant, that Scorpio would manipulate to get their needs met. Rather than just being honest and saying, these are my deepest emotional needs, and I've got to figure out how to meet these needs myself, but these are also the needs that I want to address in a relationship with anybody. So do you see that the point is that the 2nd house is our own needs? So let's play with, we can play with these examples or we can play with different examples. And so let's say the example of Leo on that 2nd house cusp. What would be the sexual needs of someone who had Leo on the 2nd house cusp? Would there... Pardon?
Lots of it.
Could be. It wouldn't be the quantity as much as it would be the quality. They would need their partner to make them feel special. Could it also be Leo on the 2nd house cusp? They need to learn how to affect meeting their own sexual needs rather than projecting it out there on the partner. And if they projected it out there on the partner, Aquarius on the 8th house cusp, could the partner become aloof and get tired of, they're always the 2nd house person having to have their needs met? So it could be, instead of lots of it, it could be insatiable demands. Okay?